Welcome to another video. I will show you today how you should play the Caro-Kann. I played a really good game with the Caro-Kann, and you might as well pick this opening. If you are a positional player, the Caro-Kann is a great choice to play. So we dive right into it. We're playing against Matteo Petrelli. He's 1619, so a good player. But however, I didn't know who he was, so he was from Groningen, and it's hard to guess how somebody plays, right? So we just dive into it. He plays e4, and I started with the Caro-Kann. Sometimes I play the Sicilian, sometimes the Caro-Kann. The Caro-Kann is the more solid approach, and if you keep playing the Caro-Kann for entirety, it will get boring a bit. However, sometimes it's such a good opening. So he played d4. He is taking the center, so he's playing also really easy moves. However, the point of c6 is that I can play d5 now, and if you're gonna take, I can take back, and now it's equal. You're putting your knight here, maybe your bishop out, or e6, and going out with the bishop. However, the opponent can also play something like this to reinforce, so it's a really solid opening. That's the exchange. The advanced is also maybe the most challenging for black, because you can play bishop here, and now you have all kind of different solutions here. But basically you want to play e6, make a little bit of a pyramid while getting the bishop out, right? So that's the point of the exchange. However, he played the classical variation, and the classical variation is just taking towards the center, chipping away to the center. Now he's taking with the knight. Now I can play bishop f4, pretty much for free. Or maybe you can, oh no, you lose the pawn. So it's a little bit of a tempo. However, he has also a bit of a tempo. So I play bishop g6. So it's a little bit of a dance, but now your bishop is safely, and now you can prepare to play e6. He plays knight to f3, preparing maybe going to e5 and then attacking my bishop. And playing h6 is a little bit too slow. So you want to develop and taking this square away. So if you take now, I'm just gonna... This is perfectly fine for me. Now my bishop will get out the knight and I will castle. So that's never good. So you control this square. He played bishop to d3. I took. And now I played e6. And e6 I got rid of the light square bishop. And now I have all different pawns on light squares. And now the position is really solid. It's really clear how to play it. And you basically cannot make a single mistake, which is fine. Now knight f6. If you're gonna pin me, I'm probably gonna play bishop e6, bishop e7, or queen b6 to attack this pawn. And if you're gonna take now, the pin is nowhere. And if you're gonna play b3, for example, which is not really a great move, I can even go here and just get rid of the pin. I'll play a whatever. So the pin is not really scary. So he played bishop f4. I played bishop e7. Still just developing simple moves, not thinking really. It's also really fun about Caro-Kann. You don't have to think a lot. So from now, I just played the perfect game, right? No mistakes made. c4. He's playing also really great. c4, and I castle. And now we're a little bit on our own. Now you have to think, what's the plan? What's the idea? There are multiple ideas. However, he played a4, and a4 is the third best move. However, from a human perspective, I don't really like this move. Well, he probably wants to just march forward with his pawn. I just stop him right away with a5. And my bishop can go to b4 suddenly. It could go if you go play here, I'm not allowed to play b4, right? And now with a4, I can immediately play b4. However, you're probably gonna play a5 maybe. So that's also a wonderful move in my opinion. So a5, and is taking the semi-open file. However, now my b4 move is coming with tempo. So it was quite funny. However, here is the a little bit of a masterpiece from my point. The queen is hanging, so this move is available. You cannot just take. I'm gonna take your queen, right? So this move is available. However, I thought I'm gonna play. Well, I'm looking at the position really easily, right? This bishop is really strong. It's active. This knight can jump in here. The pawn break is not that great. However, when I can move, well, my bishop is quite bad. His bishop is quite good. So I played bishop b4 with the tempo on his rook. So probably he should have gone with a rook move. However, he went back for the bishop because he thought I would just trade or something. However, I accomplished my bishop. I made it quite good to attack the rook. His bishop is from f4 going back to d2, which makes me quite happy to see an active piece go less active. And now I'm just trying to get my knight forward, right? However, it's really hard to move pieces in a really close position. Still have this move to attack the queen, and that's also what I played. If you take, I'm gonna take your queen again. If you're gonna push, I'm gonna take your queen, and now you basically have to move your queen. And you have to guard this pawn in the end, because let's say if you go here, I can just take. If you're gonna take with the knight, I'm gonna take. If you're gonna take with the queen, I have a little fork here. So you have to watch the fork as well. So that the knight move is really strong. So he did the best of both worlds. He is defending and defending. However, the point is that I can take this bishop, and now you have to take with your knight. And if you see from a perspective, here was a bishop, and the knight was here. If you look at here, the bishop was here, more on my side, almost in my. It's pointing towards my center. And now, if you look at this, the knight could go here, and now it's back in. It needs to develop again. Maybe it can go to b3, so it's not all that bad. However, it's not ideal, right? When you have to go back with your pieces. And my idea of this whole little puzzle was to play knight to a6, and knight to a6 is going back with your knight. So basically, I'm doing the same thing. However, the next move will be knight b4. And knight b4 is already threatening a little fork, a triple fork. However, more convenient is that the knight on b4 will stay there. It's really hard to get rid of. You cannot go with your knight. You have to move 3 times to get rid of it. And within the 2 moves, within 1 move, I can already see that he wants to get rid of it, so I can do something about it. So he played h4. I'm not really sure how. Maybe because he likes to attack and he's just starting an attack. So I ignored it. Knight b4. Now I'm threatening the fork. So he has to defend it. And now I open the center up with c5. If you're going to take, I have this fork. So that's really great. If you push, I'm also quite happy with this. Takes, takes, takes. Still threatening the fork. However, now you can... Oh, wait. You can take. I can take, and have a fork again. So this knight is so strong. It's pretty funny. If it's on your side, the knight. If it's on their side, it's not that funny anymore. However, I played a really good move, which I missed, was knight b3. And suddenly, I took. However, the fork is not really great. And if he takes now, I do not have a fork because the rook can pin my knight. And I suddenly lose my knight. Well, I can take the rook, but I'm losing my queen. And then I lose the knight, right? So really good move by my opponent. A little bit of a surprise. I took. And he took. Now I played knight g4. I was really trying to get this pawn. And even go for this maybe. But I can just take and do something. However, the problem with taking the h-pawn is knight f3. And the queen is attacking both things. And I cannot defend my precious knight. And I don't even have to check anymore. So I could not go check and move because of the really strong move. So I realized that and I went just back. You cannot take because you lose the knight. And I played queen d7, b3. Now it's completely equal still because of the knight. The knight moves were pretty strong. I attacked the knight twice. He moved it, which was a little bit of a mistake, right? Now you should basically be calm, in my opinion. Maybe even go here, but that's also not great. So you have, just go here. Now you can move your, let's say, go here. Well, let's say just move. The queen is pinned. So basically, I have to move the queen or think about it and calculate a lot. However, he just went back. And the knight was really strong here. Now it's going back. It's not really great. However, it's attacking my precious outpost where I worked a lot for. However, I can just take. And now a queen trade because I just took the rook took and now queen to d4. If you take, I'm really happy with it because the open foul is basically mine. It's really hard to get rid of, right? Now you don't have this move. Now you're gonna lose the rook. So the open foul is mine. And although it's a little bit of a tempo, it's a little bit easier to play when you have the open foul. In a really, it's a 3 against 2, 4 against 3. So the open foul, when you have 2 rooks, is really important. So he realized that. And he didn't want to trade queens. And was perfectly fine for me. However, I must say that we're also a lot in time pressure. Because after 40 moves, you get another half an hour. And we're both on 2 minutes or 1 minute. So we have to rush. So you will see a little bit of a couple of mistakes. I'm trying to double the rooks and so I can move the queen maybe. Now this is also a pretty nice move, so I got rid of it. Maybe taking with the rook was both fine. Now, I really didn't want to trade queens. Now he wanted, it was quite funny by the way. Now he wanted to trade queens and I said no. Because you can make quite easy moves with the queen. So you can really see that we need 5 more moves or something to get to the time control. And a little bit of a dance not to trading queens. And now, in my opinion, he went for a little bit cheesy attack. Well, this pawn can march forward, right? So I had a lot of time to double my rooks. And now he made a little bit of a blunder. However, in time pressure, it's also really hard to see that the best move, because I played rook d1. A check is always good. And now the best move is to play this move. You threaten this check. You even go for, maybe go here. Check, here, check. Whatever. You can have a really big attack. I'm winning here. However, I went for g6 to just stop the mate threat right away. And in time pressure, you just do such moves quite easily. So queen f6 is really strong, and now he's trying to open up and sack maybe. So I really wanted to trade queens now because his attack is getting a little bit stronger. It's g3 is a little bit of a hook, right? So h4 is coming, of h5. So he took, and now you can see to the bar, I'm not completely winning, but my position is quite easy to play because I have the open file. Now he made a blunder, and I made a blunder as well, because my idea was quite funny to give this check, because he is attacking my pretty nice pawn. I can defend, but it's a little bit passive, I guess. And you probably still can go here. Oh, still can go here. And now I need to defend. You can. I need to have initiative, right? So I took this pawn. We're still a little bit in time pressure. Still 2 minutes left. And now my idea was to play the rook here. I'm grabbing a pawn with check, and I'm defending this pawn. So that was quite creative in thinking in 1 minute. So it was a little bit of an instinct move. He took, and now a really important move, in my opinion, before you take this pawn, you give this check, because getting this pawn is maybe more important than getting this pawn back, or winning this pawn. However, he made quite a big blunder. Pretty sure he was a little bit tired because the game was really long. He should have defended this pawn, and he just completely missed that I'm attacking this pawn. So I'm just grabbing it, and now I'm completely winning. Now it's really important to not have a little bit tunnel vision to all your pawns, because the king might go here, and then let's say you have this king, I could take, and suddenly here you have to play queen of 8, right? It's a mate threat. So you have to think about that before grabbing the pawns. And remember that pawns that are weak will probably stay weak. You can just trade it off, but I will win this pawn. So the weak pawn will stay weak. So I played first queen g7, king g7. And now my king is more active. We're in an endgame. It's important to have your king active. And I will attack the weakness later. So king g7, also best move. And now it's an easy play. So now you go for the weakness. He's making his king more active. I'm grabbing this pawn. He's pushing. I'm taking. Giving a free check because I was... And now I was hoping that... Because he was still playing really fast. We had a half an hour, but he was playing pretty fast because he was just a little bit tilted. I tried to make it a little bit cheesy to attack this pawn, and I was hoping he was playing here and then mate in 1. However, he didn't fall for it. He made another quite a weird move, because he does not have great moves to defend, right? So I went back, and now it's quite easy. And he resigned around here. So a really nice opening by the Caro-Kann and a really solid approach. So if you want to play the Caro-Kann and you want to learn to be more positional, you should really try to play the Caro-Kann. And if you're more of an attacking player, they're also attacking things in the Caro-Kann. However, maybe try a different opening. If you want to really attack, it's more about squares and outposts and understanding your pieces, what they should do and how they can be really active. That is more of the Caro-Kann. So if you want to be an all-round player, a Caro-Kann is a must-known opening. Well, you can also go with other openings, right? However, it's when you play e4, it's also nice to understand how you can break it down a little bit for white, because it's really hard to break down the Caro-Kann. And this, I really like this move, and it's common theme, right? In openings, it's not defended. This is, if you look closely to the position, this is defended, this is defended, this is defended. This is all really solid. However, this is not defended, and you always need to think in what's not defended, what's weak, and suddenly my knight can go here, and that's really nice because he would lose the game if his knight was not here. If I could take, and he had to take with the queen, I had this fork. So he maybe should go here, and then I can take the rook. So the tactic almost worked to a winning advantage. So yeah, play the Caro-Kann and see you on the next video. Bye!